Right now, a local music school abruptly closes, and it might not be able to offer refunds. Hear from one mother who enrolled her child in a summer program.
And a shooting this evening at a university in North Carolina. An update on what happened straight ahead.
And later, the Bucks even up the series. A dominating win tonight against the Boston Celtics. A live report from Milwaukee moments away.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 10.
Thanks for joining us tonight. A Verona music school abruptly closed its doors.
And that's not music to the ears of one parent who is wondering if she'll get her money back. Our Keely Arthur spoke to her and brings us the story now. Keely?
Well, just last Friday, Rhapsody Art Center was encouraging viewers of their Facebook page to sign up for summer classes. But on Monday, they announced they were shutting down, and it's unclear if people who signed up for future classes will get their money back.
It's very close to our home, so every time we drive by, he says, music class, I want to go to music class.
As a mother, Shanna Anderson wants her kids to know their ABCs, numbers, and music notes, too, which is why she brought her 3-year-old son, Garrett, to Rhapsody Art Center's Toddler Tunes class.
They would play instruments, and the instructor would bring in a guitar and sing songs.
With another baby due just before the start of summer, Anderson wanted to plan ahead and sign up for more classes at the center in Verona.
So I was trying to be proactive and sign up early this year, just in case the spots were filled. And so I signed up at the very beginning of March.
2 sessions totaling $150. Money well spent, she thought, until things fell flat.
I had received an email at like 6 o'clock last night saying that they're no longer, they're going to be permanently closed as effective as today.
The letter went on to say, quote, refunds will be issued as funds permit, but larger debts must be paid first.
We'll get you your money if we can, basically.
Anderson reached out to them today and heard nothing but silence.
And I tried to call, and no one answered.
Our phone calls and messages to the board president and members seem to fall on deaf ears as well. Only a sign on their front door and Facebook page explained their closure.
Not even an apology.
Tonight, Anderson is cautioning other Rhapsody patrons, saying as of this afternoon, the center was still accepting students and payments online.
I just was shocked that you could still sign up for a class.
She says the center meant a lot to her and the community and wishes their story didn't have to end on such a sour note.
I would hope just to get my money back so I can have my son participate in another program this summer, and then as well as and just inform other parents just so they know, so they're not spending money in a program that doesn't exist.
Rhapsody Art Center's Facebook page and website have both been updated, announcing that it has closed. The link to register on the site is now broken.
All right, Keely Arthur reporting tonight. Keely, thank you.
A suspect is now in custody after a deadly shooting this evening at the University of North Carolina, Charlotte. The first reports came in at 5:45 Eastern Time on what had been the last day of classes for the university. The school's emergency services office tweeted a terrifying warning. Shots reported near Kennedy. Run, hide, fight, secure yourself immediately. Witnesses said a gunman opened fire in a room. At least 6 people were hit.
We had 2 fatalities. We have 3 that are in critical condition and 1 that is not. Our officers' actions definitely saved lives. There's no doubt about that.
Police swarmed the area and conducted a building-by-building sweep of the campus. Students with their hands in the air were escorted away from the scene. A man was taken into custody for questioning by detectives. Police believe only 1 gunman was involved. No word yet on a possible motive.
Prosecutors say the 19-year-old man suspected of opening fire in a Southern California synagogue was wearing a tactical vest and helmet and had 50 unfired bullets on him when he was arrested. In the first hearing for John Ernest, prosecutors today in San Diego say he fired 8 to 10 rounds before his rifle jammed on Saturday at the shooting at the Chabad of Poway Synagogue. 1 woman was killed, 3 injured, including the rabbi. Ernest pleaded not guilty at the hearing. The judge denied bail, calling him an extreme threat to public safety. A day of chaos in Venezuela. Anti-government protesters and troops loyal to Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro were caught in skirmishes after opposition leader Juan Guaido attempted a military uprising. Armored vehicles were deployed to stop anti-government protesters near the military base in Caracas. The U.S. has backed Guaido's efforts and recognizes him as the official interim president of Venezuela.
Shifting gears now, this dreary weather will unfortunately continue into next month. Looking live at the Capitol tonight, we've had off and on rain, and it'll be here for the next few days. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canoldi has our first alert forecast. Hi, Gary.
Hi, Charlotte. Well, at least next month starts tomorrow, and it's not going to last for the entire month. We'll probably see another day or two of showers and clouds, and then once we get some sunshine, temperatures will warm back up toward the end of the week. As we take a look at weather track across the Midwest, you can see lots of showers, lots of clouds, some thunderstorms down to our south. There have been a few thunderstorms, mainly over southeastern Wisconsin. We can't rule out a flash of lightning at some point. Visibility right now, 10 miles in Madison, but many of the outlying areas are seeing visibilities down to between about 3 and 5 miles. For Oka, down to 1.5 miles and 2.5 miles in Monroe in some light fog. Low temperatures this morning in the upper 30s to the lower 40s. High temperatures only a couple degrees above those low temperatures in the middle 40s. And guess what? We're back down to our low temperature for the day of 41. These temperatures are going to hold nearly steady through the overnight hours. I'm thinking by morning we should be back up to around 43, 44 degrees. Look for off and on showers, perhaps a thunderstorm during the day tomorrow. Our high temperature, though, should top out at 54. That's your News 3 Now First Alert forecast.
Thank you, Gary. A Justice Department official says Special Counsel Robert Mueller was concerned with how Attorney General William Barr portrayed the findings of his Russia investigation to the public. The DOJ official spoke to the Associated Press on condition of anonymity. The frustration was communicated in a letter that Mueller sent to the Justice Department days after Barr released a 4-page letter summarizing the main conclusions of the investigation. The letter is now likely to be a central focus at tomorrow's Senate Judiciary Committee hearing with the Attorney General.
The Madison Common Council tonight voting to end the ongoing legal battle with the State Street Taco Bell Cantina. Today, the council approved an agreement to allow the restaurant to serve beer and wine until 10 o'clock at night. Back in 2017, the council approved a license for that location, but it was later vetoed by then Mayor Paul Soglin. There were 2 failed attempts to override that veto. Last week, new Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway and other council members introduced a resolution to end the dispute. The Common Council tonight also approving a proposal giving people more time to pay off their parking tickets. That resolution passed with no discussion. The idea is to give people at least 2 weeks to pay them off before the fine increases. Enough time for a paycheck for most to come through so they can pay.
The CEO of Foxconn, Terry Gou, had a meeting at the White House today, but the exact reason for that meeting is still unclear tonight. In a statement, the company said, as part of normal business operations, Foxconn regularly engages with its stakeholders in state and federal government. The company says details of such interactions cannot be disclosed for privacy reasons. Foxconn has promised 13,000 jobs in Wisconsin and committed to building a $10 billion facility in Pleasant Prairie. Governor Evers has signed his first piece of bipartisan legislation into law today. At the state capitol, the governor signed a bill that eliminates the phrase mental retardation from all state rules and regulations. The governor says he is proud to sign the bill that makes administrative changes that reflect shared values.
An Oshkosh Democrat reintroducing a bill to help cut down on the recent spread of the measles and any other future diseases. The bill from Representative Gordon Hintz would get rid of the personal conviction waiver that allows parents to exclude their student from getting vaccinated. The religious waiver would not be impacted. The Centers for Disease Control is confirming more than 700 individual cases of measles now in 22 states since the start of the year. A panel of UW System Regents has narrowed the search now for the next chancellor at UW-Whitewater. They are the current interim chancellor, Cheryl Green, Louisiana State University at Alexandria Chancellor Gio Wang, Southwest Minnesota State University Provost Dwight Watson, and Slippery Rock University Provost Philip Way. The former chancellor, Beverly Copper, resigned in December after her husband was banned from campus amid sexual harassment complaints from several women.
New details tonight involving one of the men who died in an officer-involved crash on I-39 yesterday. One of the suspects was wanted by Fitchburg police for armed robbery back in March. Wisconsin DOJ has released the names of both of the men who died in that crash. Terrence Phillip Simmons, born in 1995, and Terrence P. Simmons, born in 1994. Both have extensive criminal histories. Police say the younger man was suspected of beating and taking a woman believed to be his girlfriend on Sunday. She was later found at an undisclosed location and were able to get information to locate the suspect. They also found out that he was armed with a loaded gun. They were able to locate his car in Columbia County yesterday morning with the help of multiple law enforcement agencies. The suspects led police on a high-speed chase, but eventually crashed into a semi-trailer. Both of the men died in the car from the impact. Everest Police Chief Clay Schultz says it is tragic they died and they may never have answers to some of their questions.
Is there a reason why they might have been heading that way?
We don't know that. I think the only people that knew where they were specifically going were the two in the vehicle, and we'll probably never know exactly where they're going.
This is an ongoing investigation, but we are still working to gather additional details.
The state of Wisconsin will have to look elsewhere to find homes for two convicted child sex predators after a Footville family fought back. Peter Turner says his family first learned about the plan to place two predators near his home in February. He says when he found out the plan was for real, he started to write to leaders all across the state and research state law. He says he had no idea why the Department of Health Services would want to place the two criminals so close to his family of 7.
Even putting them next to our house would be like a source of temptation for them. You know, it's not a good situation. Less than 500 feet away from, a family of 5 kids. Where their bedrooms would be able to see our driveway with our kids riding their scooters back and forth. It's just like, doesn't seem like a good idea.
The Rock County Supervisor says the two men will still likely be placed within the county. Still ahead tonight, 5 names from Wisconsin are added to the National Law Enforcement Memorial in Washington, D.C.
And we will introduce you to a Madison nurse who now holds a nationwide title. We'll have that story coming up next.
Facebook says it will tackle privacy this year. CEO Mark Zuckerberg made this pledge as he kicked off the company's annual conference in California today. The meeting is called F8, a chance for Facebook to give developers a peek at its newest features and products. Zuckerberg told the audience that Facebook is working toward building a privacy-focused social platform. The social networking giant has been plagued with scandals the past 2 years, including a massive data breach.
Apple's bottom line is taking a big hit. The company says sales tanked 17% in the first quarter of the year. Earlier this year, the iPhone maker blamed the slowdown in sales to China's trade dispute with the U.S. Chinese smartphone makers are also stepping up their game, competing head-to-head with Apple. 371 new names are in the process of being added to the National Law Enforcement Memorial in Washington, D.C. this week. This is ahead of National Police Week, which begins May 12th.
It includes 158 names of officers who were killed in the line of duty in 2018, 2 of whom are from Wisconsin, both in Milwaukee. 213 other names are also being added of officers who died in the line of duty in the past, including one from way back in 1786. 3 of those names are also from Wisconsin, and it will bring the total number of names honored on the memorial to nearly 22,000. The Transportation Security Administration has set another screening record during the 2019 spring travel period. From March 14th through April 28th, more than 108 million passengers and crew and more than 63 million checked bags were screened nationwide, representing an almost 4.7% increase over the same period last year.
A local nurse has been given the title of Fittest Nurse in the Country by CrossFit. 27-year-old Brandon Arndt is an Oregon native and works in the emergency room at SSM Health St. Mary's Hospital. He said his patients usually make a comment about his physique, but now he can tell them they're being treated by the fittest nurse in the U.S. and the second fittest nurse in the world.
It is tiring working a 12-hour shift. I definitely don't work out after a shift. I work out before a shift. If anything, it energizes me. It gives those endorphins, that dopamine, quick spike before I go into work, so I'm feeling really good.
He has been training with CrossFit since 2014. He said although he has made the top 10 the past few years, he did not expect to win fittest nurse in the U.S. this year.
Gary Canalte's been getting pretty ripped lately, trying to figure out this forecast, burning some calories,
the gun show right there.
Lifting some weather radios, trying to get ready for severe weather season, Gary.
Yeah, tomorrow we'll definitely be hoisting the weather radios because we're going to be doing a weather radio programming session. We're doing our usual weather radio programming, and for tomorrow we're going to be at the Hy-Vee at 2920 Fitch-Verona Road in Fitchburg. That's just on Highway PD, just west of Verona Road, or US 18151. We'll be programming radios from 5 until 7 p.m. So come on by and we'll program a radio for you right on the spot, and you can take it home, be ready to go before severe weather strikes. Tonight, all the severe weather is down to the south. Enhanced risk of severe thunderstorms from eastern Oklahoma into southwestern Missouri, with a marginal risk into central Indiana. Tomorrow, that area shifts northward slightly. The far southern portions of the Chicago metro area under a marginal risk of severe thunderstorms, and the slight risk about to St. Louis. But because we're staying cool, that will keep the severe weather threat down, although we could still see a couple of thunderstorms. You can see a pretty good line of thunderstorms extending from Oklahoma City through St. Louis to just between Chicago and Indianapolis. But we haven't had many lightning flashes across Wisconsin. We had some over southeastern Wisconsin earlier this afternoon. It's possible we could see a flash of lightning in one of these showers, but for the most part, the showers have been a little bit lighter here. Looking across our viewing area, most of the showers are still west of Madison, although a little surge of moisture coming up from the south will be heading through Greene and Rock counties from Monroe to Janesville and just south of Madison over the next hour or so. Could be some areas of fog as well. We're seeing visibilities down to about 3 to 5 miles. Here in Madison, still about a 10-mile visibility, but as the atmosphere moistens up, we'll see the fog thicken up. The live view from the Edgewater Skycam, you kind of make out the fog there in the lights of the Capitol. Also seeing some light rain here. High today 44, the low 41, so the temperature was within a little 3-degree area, and right now we're at 41, so we're at our low temperature for the day. Winds are out of the east at 13 miles per hour. That's mixing up the air enough to keep the fog from getting too thick here in Madison, even though the humidity is at 93%. Skies are mostly cloudy, not getting any rain in Madison right now. Computer models, at least through early Friday morning, showing the potential for about another 1/4 to 1/2 inch of rain over southern Wisconsin. But notice the heavier amounts where the thunderstorms will be more prevalent across northern Illinois. So it'll be a close call. This area shifts northward a little bit, and we could see some heavier rain at least over the next day and a half. There are flood watches from Chicago southwestward through much of the central portion of the country. High temperatures today, well, didn't seem much like last day of April. High temperatures between about 40 and 50 for the most part, and current temperatures are in the upper 30s in northern Wisconsin, lower 40s here in southern portions of the state. A strong jet stream, and notice the big dip of the jet stream. That's spinning up a storm system. That's why the severe weather has been going on down to our south, but we're on the cool side of the storm north of a warm front, so this is the area where the easterly winds are keeping things cool. The severe weather along and just south of that warm front in the warmer area where temperatures today we're in the 70s and 80s. For tonight, look for cloudy skies, showers, some areas of fog, low temperature about where we are now at 41 degrees. Tomorrow we'll see some showers, perhaps an isolated thunderstorm. Not quite as cool. High temperature should get back up to about 54. On future track, the showers will continue overnight into tomorrow morning. There might be some breaks from time to time where we just see cloudy skies, but another surge of moisture, especially from later tomorrow night into Thursday morning with some showers and thunderstorms. And then high temperatures on Thursday getting up into the upper 50s. As we take a look at rainfall amounts, again, probably a quarter to a half inch at least through Thursday, but there could be some heavier amounts in areas that get a heavier thunderstorm. The 7 to 10 day forecast, those temperatures will get back into the lower 60s with some sunshine on Friday, close to 70 over the weekend, maybe a thunderstorm chance on Sunday. Next week, we'll see temperatures generally in the mid 60s, some thunderstorm chances perhaps on Wednesday and Thursday. Showers should end on Friday morning.
All right, at least we have a nice weekend coming up.
I think we will.
Thank you.
Okay.
What a difference 2 days make. The Bucks are back to being, well, the Bucks. The story coming up ahead in sports.
"48 years ago today, the Milwaukee Bucks won their only NBA title, sweeping the Baltimore Bullets. Now, if the Bucks won a second NBA title this season, seems like they almost had to win Game 2 against the Boston Celtics at Fiserv Forum tonight. You had to figure the Bucks would look a lot better tonight than it did Sunday, and boy, did they ever. Giannis is pretty much hit or miss from three, but he hit that one. 29 points, 10 rebounds for Antetokounmpo. Third quarter's the difference. Bucks outscore Boston 39-18. Eric Bledsoe hit that three. The Bucks made 20 threes for a team playoff record, and they win comfortably. Final score, Bucks 123, Celtics 102. Series even at a game apiece. Chris Middleton had 28 points and was 7 of 10 from 3. Game 3 is Friday night in Boston. They'll tip at 7 Central Friday night. Let's go to Melissa Kim live at Fiserv Forum.
Hey there, Jay. Yeah, I was watching Chris Middleton in pregame today, and, he in particular spent a lot of time shooting threes, and honestly, that was the difference tonight. He made 7 of 10 from beyond the arc, and the team as a whole, 20 three-pointers. Pretty impressive. And according to head coach Mike Budenholzer, much better and honestly much needed effort tonight in this game.
I think that's more what we're accustomed to seeing. I liked our spirit, our activity, our competitiveness. All up and down the roster, obviously. Giannis and Chris and Bled really set a tone.
All I can do is just trust my teammate and, go back and look at the tape and see what I did wrong, what I did right, and just come into in game 2 with the mindset to be aggressive and make the right play.
And the series now tied up at 1 apiece before it heads to Boston for games 3 and 4. And a really good energy here tonight, honestly. We had former Badger great Ron Dane in the house and also a bunch of Packers players, Devontae Adams, Tony Brown. Actually caught Tony shooting some hoops just a few minutes ago behind here. And let's just say for most of these Packers guys that were shooting hoops, let's hope that their football game is a little bit better than their basketball game. Jay, back to you.
A little struggle. That's Melissa Kim. She's live at Fiserv Forum where the Bucks tied this series at a game apiece. Well, the Brewers have to play second fiddle in Milwaukee tonight, just a run-of-the-mill regular season game at Miller Park against the Colorado Rockies. What in the world's gotten into Jesus Aguilar the last 2 days? 2 homers last night, another 3-run shot tonight. Remember, he hadn't hit a homer until last night. Now suddenly he has 3. Another great outing from starting pitcher Yuli Chassin. Josh Hader gives up a 3-run homer in the 9th, but the final score, Brewers 4, Rockies 3. It was a rainy night for the Madison City track meet at Mansfield Stadium, but they got it in. Congratulations to the team winners, the Madison Memorial girls and the Madison La Follette boys. And finally, the Madison City Council recognized the Badger women's hockey team for their national championship tonight. Team captain Annie Pankowski, a few other players there to get a proclamation to celebrate Wisconsin's 5th National Women's Hockey Championship. And we'll be right back.
Gary's here with the final check.
Well, it's kind of damp out there. Some showers still down to our south. The next batch ready to move into southern Wisconsin. Haven't seen a lot of lightning with it, so maybe free of lightning at least for tonight. But we'll see a thunderstorm or two tomorrow. Visibility is right now dropping off in areas that are starting to get some fog. Temperatures are going to hold nearly steady where they are now in the lower 40s. Tomorrow look for high 54, 58 on Thursday. Showers and thunderstorms both days. Best chances on Thursday in the morning, and then temperatures mainly in the 60s for next week.
All right, Gary, thanks. And thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10.
Do something good, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.